Hey, welcome to the Psychic Soul Healer channel. I look like I wasn't wearing any clothes there for a second. It still looks like I'm not wearing any clothes. I really am. I'm wearing a jumper. Anyway, well, welcome to the Psychic Soul Healer channel. My name is Laura, and I'm going to do a general message for all Zodiac. I always start looking at the spiritual energies. So really, the video is titled, it's an all Zodiac video that I'm going to do, and it's always starts off anyway in all my readings looking at the spiritual energy first, because the spiritual energy is always what influences people's actions, why people do what they do. It helps us not take things so personally, especially when we're dealing with a soulmate twin flame that is triggering this shit out of us. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. Anything that you need to know about the channel is going to be in the description box. Not everything is in the description box right now, because I always like to go back into the description box and write about what the video is about, because your guess to what's going to come out in these cards is as good as mine. So I always like to go back into the description box and add information, but what's in there right now is just a welcome. And if you're interested in winning a free psychic reading with me, all you need to do is like the video if you resonate with it, subscribe to the channel, and write the magic word. The magic word of the day is going to be forgiveness. Forgiveness is such a difficult topic, especially when we're talking about healing and we're talking about evolution. A lot of times we don't evolve because we just can't let go of past hurts and past wounds. So again, for those of you that don't know, that this is a psychic soul healer channel. So I do look at what happens within your soulmate twin flame situation. I actually didn't even take them out of the box yet, any of that yet. What's on my table right now is just mainly soul healing cards, and then I'm going to go right into the relationship. All right. Without further ado, again, this is going to be all Zodiac. Now, no energy is fluid, so you may be here thinking that you're tapping into yourself and wanting to tap into yourself, but the person that you're connected to, it may resonate more for whatever reason, but usually not the spiritual part of the reading. It's usually your triggers. Okay. So I always, again, I'm going to pull from my deck, the Psychic Soul Healer. So we're going to look and see what's happening. Innovation. So I like that, because if there is any trauma, if a person is going through a dark night of the soul, a good way to come out of that is through creating. Anytime that we are having issue in life, when we create, it helps us create new energy. It helps us, again, fill in a part of our identity where we're carrying around shame and guilt and other negative emotions. See, the shadow part of self is the part of self that when we look in the mirror, we perceive that that's who we truly are. And that is all our defects. That might be how we look. It may be based on what we perceive about ourselves through our accomplishments, but that's not really who you are on a spiritual level. On a spiritual level, you are pure consciousness, you are unconditional love, you are creative energy, because you are source energy, you are universal energy. The universe is inside of you, and the universe is God. There is, like, that energy is of universe, God, again, as well as inside yourself. And when we have blocks, shadow parts of ourselves, they're unconscious parts of ourselves that were created from trauma. And that trauma could have been a breakup, or it could have been that you were brought up by abuse. There's a lot of reasons why we form trauma. So why we're here in physical form is to learn and to manifest, and innovation is again saying that we're manifesting. This is how we find out that we too are unconditional love. We get back to healing ourselves. So I'm already feeling just from that one card that there was a breakup or someone's in a dark night of soul. There's heavy energy, and this energy has been channeled into purpose through one person's ideas. Again, because they were stuck for a really long time. And I feel like the person actually that you're connected to is stuck. They're stuck. And the only way that you could they have a saying, unfuck yourself. It's like the only way you can unstuck yourself is to be able to create a new version of yourself. However, now the connection that you had with the person that you're connected to, that they're stuck, and I feel like they're not with you because they are stuck in the situation. Now they don't know how they're going to return to you because you're actually like almost like a different person. Because once we reinvent ourselves, we actually do become a different version of ourselves. Now this was turned over, so I'm going to take it. Maliciousness. So I feel like your person has a hard time showing feelings and emotions. So it comes across as if they're callous and that they don't care. And because there's a sense that they know that you need the emotional support. And sometimes intuitively we can just tell. Now, again, soulmate twin flames usually are the opposite. Your soulmate comes into your life to teach you a different perception. And that perception a lot of times is imbalanced because we have imbalances. So your soulmate twin flame comes into your life, or actually any soulmate can do this, can come into your life to show you how to heal something. And that's through maybe the way that they live their life, which is what I'm feeling. I'm feeling like your person's stuck and they're watching you create and invent yourself. Well, they were sitting there malicious and angry towards you because they are seeing you create yourself and they don't feel confident in themselves. Now, at one time, you and your person were on the same vibration because you both didn't feel good about yourself for different reasons. So you both had this energy inside. So this energy of maliciousness, a lot of times we manifest too because we have deep-seated wounds. And the deep-seated wounds were we were raised or were around someone when we were younger, much, much younger, that wasn't nice. So when they weren't nice, we perceived ourselves as not lovable. And so a lot of times when we don't like who we are, it's because we are not perceiving who we truly are. And this is why we're stuck, which is what I feel like your person is stuck because of that. So this is heavy, really heavy energy. And so again, I felt like there was a dark night of the soul that was happening. So I'm feeling like your person is going through a dark night of the soul. So if you're not feeling them, it's because they're going through it. See, the good thing about a dark night of the soul is that without that dark night of the soul, there's no evolution. We have to have that tower moment in our life where everything falls apart. We have to look and see what's actually happening in our life that's not working in order to heal it, right? If we're unconscious. So this is what the grand awakening is. The grand awakening is that we become conscious of the things that are holding us back, the things that are making us feel limited, the things that make us not feel good enough, taking us away from that deity part of self, which is the God part of self, which is a universal part of ourself. I mean, The universe is inside of us, and we're able to express ourselves through creative energy, right? The creative genius. And that's where innovation comes from. So the only way to get unstuck is through that. The only way to heal is through this, because it allows us to see a different version of ourselves and lets us see the people that were like this to us differently, meaning that we're not taking it on as if we're defective, that this is why that person decided to treat us that way, that we're able to put that energy back where it belongs, which is that's that person's consciousness, because I really know who I am. And who I am is I'm a creative spiritual being. I'm not what that person said, regardless of whatever their perception was. But understand, a lot of times they're triggering you to feel a certain perception about yourself, which you had all along. You were just asleep to it. That's the shadow. Your soulmate came into your life to show you what needed to be healed. So how did that make your person feel? How did it make you feel? Let's see. Inconsistent. Okay, because you were showing that you're grounded. You have both feet on the ground, that you go off and you work and you have friends, and like your life is balanced. It has real passions in it. Real passions because you create. I feel like your person had lust passions, lower level consciousness of passion, which is like false relationships that fed their ego but didn't really feed their soul or their spirit, which you do. That's the difference. They never saw that before. They never experienced that type of relationship before. So they were inconsistent because they were used of not going that deep. So I could see how that would completely piss you off. Like he had one foot in, one foot out. I don't really know how to deal with this. I'm going to play innocent. I'm going to act like I'm not doing anything wrong, though I'm not really giving enough because I don't have my heart open, because I don't feel it. Brought out all their insecurities. It made them see that they've been stuck in like a weird cycle. And I want you to know that this is what a real soulmate twin flame does. And a soulmate just in general will do. But when it's inconsistent at the core of who we are, it's a soulmate twin flame. Just, you're not on the same vibration. So it would look like then a past life karmic connection that has a very intense spiritual connection. Again, lost, not knowing what to do, feeling that they have no purpose. Again, this is what I'm saying, that they felt lost, because we design our life through how we create ourselves. That's truly how we do. I feel like your person has let other people dictate their life. I feel like that they also live more from a physical world perception, which they got a job, they made a lot of money from that job, but did that job fill them with passion? Did it help them really connect deeply with people? Did they feel as if they were making a real change within people's lives? No, I don't feel that. I feel like it satisfied the financial gain. So they were able to buy beautiful things. They were able to buy a nice home, a car, and from everyone else's perception, they were doing really, really, really financially well. And that gave them a sense of purpose and made them feel good about themselves. I feel like it, but it also made them stuck and connected to people and things that they didn't really want to be connected to. And this is why they feel lost. So remember, we change. The second chakra is all about our unique individuality. It's about creating ourselves, being able to go with the flow of life. We're able to go with the flow of life when we are embodying our unique individuality, and that's through creating ourselves. That's through, again, those ideas. Otherwise, what happens is we get connected to people that we don't really want to be in. We're creating a life that we don't really resonate with, but it looks good from the outside. But then there's going to be create also a lot of anger and resentment because you're connected to people and things that are not satisfying to you. So I can see like how your person like is really like this, how this relationship really brought out their wounds of what they needed to do for their own healing. Let's see. Sadness, and I think for you is again it created a lot of sadness because you perceive this person to be to be who you perceive them to be from what they showed you, but they didn't show you anything because they were inconsistent. They breadcrumbs, so they gave you enough to let you know that they cared, but they didn't take the time to get to know you. And I feel like that made you sad because you felt like I'm being rejected. I can feel that this person likes me, but they're not giving me anything. This relationship's not satisfying. So even if this person would come into my life, if this is the only way that they know how to communicate is to be inconsistent, that's really not going to work for you. That's not who they showed you. So it's again the expectation, I believe, of who you perceived that they were, and then really who they were is what is sad, make you sad. I feel like you know that this person can do it. And now that you see that they've created a life that they don't really have a lot of control over, because that's what happens when, you're looking at things only from a financial standpoint and not looking at things from, an overall standpoint, like what's going to feed your soul, what's going to emotionally make you feel content with yourself. Remember, you spend more time at work than you do anywhere else. Distracted. I feel like because you weren't getting really what you needed from this person, that you might have daydreamed about other people. You might have been like distracted. Obviously, you were distracted. It made you seem like you were distracted, but you tried to distract yourself. So these aren't bad wounds. I mean, I got to tell you, itchy. Um, like sadness or distracted. I mean, this isn't bitter energy. This is actually like a normal response to someone that you perceive as being your person, but then they're not giving you, and you don't really understand why. When meanwhile, both energies here isn't bad. The person's inconsistent, and they were because they're lost. They're living someone else's life, so they just feel stuck. And I think that you inspire them. You inspire them through the fact that, even though they felt this strong bond that you and them have, they expected you to be stuck. And then they would have been happy, because misery loves company a little bit. Not that they really would have been happy, but when you like someone so much and you're like, oh, like I can't figure out how to move forward. I just wish that you were stuck too, so that I could be stuck, so that I don't have to figure it out, because I don't know how to figure it out. So, but you weren't stuck. What you did was you created yourself. And that actually made your person really mad and bitter for a little while too. But you were like, I'm so sad. I need to distract myself. That wasn't, again, that was the whole purpose, I believe, because you could have fallen into like feeling, oh, this person isn't making me feel worthy. Is it making me feel good about myself? Is it making me, but you didn't do that. And that really is how you make a person heal and change. But understand, it's an ugly pill that your person had to swallow. Because I believe that they were able to live, I don't want to say a soulless life, but if you're connected to people that you don't want to be connected to, you're doing a job that's not really satisfying to you, then and you're lost, And that because you don't really feel like you're embodying the person, the life of the person of who you are today, but on choices that you made 10 or 15 years ago that gave you a lot of financial abundance and connected you to people that actually acted like family, but now you're trying to get out. Those people that acted like family, you're not going to act like family to you. They're not going to want to see you because their livelihood is connected to that. So your person, like again, I believe that they wanted to pretend that they live this grandiose life, and that's what they presented. And it got them a lot of superficial relationships that did feed them on an emotional level, but really not really just fed their ego. So that person, your person, is a little bit codependent, a little bit an empty well. And this is why they're lost. You would be codependent if you don't know who you are and you keep trying to fill yourself with outside things. Well, that's only going to keep a person stuck in the past, with people that they don't want to be connected to, stuck in an identity that they don't really feel connected to anymore because they're not that person. We grow. So that's why it's important to create yourself so you don't get connected, so that you don't make permanent connection. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to say it's important to create yourself strong before you make permanent choices in business. And I feel like your person did that because people saw that they actually had this energy at one point themselves, this innovation. They created their business. So they saw a lot of people, whether that's family or extended family, that liked what they were doing, saw the potential, wanted in on it, bought into it, but now they don't want to be connected to those people 15 years later. They don't want to feel responsible for taking care of everyone the way that they did, and that it was so they're distracted also from you, and they are also sad because obviously they're being confronted with make a choice, either get unstuck by reinventing themselves so that they can stop being angry and resentful and lost so that they don't have to be inconsistent in their relationships. So if you're not really feeling your person around, I feel like they're dealing with all of this, and this is why they're going through a dark night of the soul. That if you're going to build a business or you're going to do something, create it strong for yourself. And then when you are strong, then you can build other things off your main business and connect with other people. This way you don't lose your identity, that you never lose yourself, that you're always continuing to create yourself. Because when you are doing, whether it's this type of work or construction work or whatever work that it is, you want to build yourself strong, have people know who you are as a whole strong. So then this way you're not, like I said, making permanent decisions, because this is going to be extremely difficult for your person to get out of, if they are even able to get out of. So let's see how they're feeling with you. Let's see the hidden truths. Because right now we're seeing that they want to, but we're not really seeing whether they have courage to do anything about that. We just see, again, the spiritual energy. And really, you're the catalyst, because I feel like you're a free spirit. All right, let's look at the hidden truths. How do they feel about you? I love you. All right, so I feel like that they love you because of the person that you are, that they always fell in love with what looked good on paper or what just looked good. And really, this is a hard relationship. You're showing them like an ugly part of themselves. You're triggering a lot within them, which is what they need this to happen. They needed to go through a dark night of the soul. They were only living from an ego base consciousness. So I don't believe that they showed you that they love you, but they do. And they know that it's love because you made them eat a horrible pill. And like you look at their life, now they want to disrupt their entire life. They're not like, I don't even want to stay connected to these people and this life that I have. And it's all because of you, which it would be obviously a lot easier not to love you. That's how I know that this is a significant relationship. Okay, I regret lying to you. Again, the lie was, I feel like they lie. I feel like they lied because they acted like they didn't really care about you. And they acted like they didn't care about you because they were inconsistent. They were playing games, but they weren't living their life. Okay, I can't stop thinking about you. So those are the hidden truths. If you were wondering whether or not they were, felt bad about it. Okay, let's see the triggers. Trauma. I have unresolved trauma and I took it out on you. I believe that. I believe your person doesn't trust themselves. And they don't trust themselves because they have childhood trauma. And then that childhood trauma like bled out into like relationships. And those relationships were not really balanced because they never came from a true sense of self and trusting themselves. That's how they got into these codependent connections. And that's what's dangerous a lot of times with young entrepreneurs. It's the beginning of a journey. Everyone has uncertainty. So there's people that pry on that. And I feel like that's what happened to your person. Okay, bluff. Calling your bluff was the most satisfying thing that I've ever done. I feel like you had to call their bluff. You, again, were like, okay, I don't really believe that you care about me. And I don't believe that it was satisfying. I think you needed closure. You needed to be able to walk away with a clear conscience because this is a very spiritual, significant relationship. So the bond is very strong. So it wouldn't be easy to break this, especially when the energy is, I'm sad. I'm so sad that this didn't work out. I'm so sad. And because you were inconsistent and really just because you were lost, I'm sad because you're stuck. But I know that you're stuck and I know that you keep lying to me. And because I know that you keep lying to me, I like this card, I had to call your bluff. So it was satisfying to me because I was able to like walk away with a clear conscience is what I'm feeling. So I don't know who needed to walk away because this is an all zodiac message. So it could have been your person that felt this way because you are connected to other people and were being inconsistent and acted like you didn't care and like lied and like breadcrumbed to wanting to keep your person stuck because you didn't really know how to get out of your situation. You really didn't know what to do. You were like frozen. I think your person thought that they could get over you. Obviously, they were always able to before. This isn't like it's a new thing with who they're connected to. They haven't been happy for a while. They've ignored it. They've focused on the pleasantries of the business, and that could have been all the money. Again, it makes a good living. I get to like eat at the nice restaurants and travel and have my hobbies and my interests. So that's my life. But I don't have deep connections because I don't want to be connected to any of these people. And this is what your person is learning. It's hard. It's hard when we're confronted. I feel you. So again, this is a soulmate twin flame relationship that I wasn't sure because again, your person was not on the same vibration. Now, you may be creating yourself, and maybe you needed to create yourself. Now, that's how this reading actually started. It started with you were both on the same vibration. However, your person wasn't giving you anything, and it was painful and it was sad. So you put the energy into yourself. They expected you to be stuck. You weren't stuck. That made them look at their stuck. And what they saw is that they don't like their life. So they can still feel you because, again, soulmate, twin flame relationships transcend time and space, even past life soulmate relationships, again, transcend time and space because, again, ESP is the connection through the heart and the mind, not our physical. So we don't need to see. So we can actually even tap into someone that has passed over because there, again, in the spiritual realm, there is no time and there is no distance. If you can imagine it, you can create it. So understand your person realizes that this is a very significant relationship. And I say that because I don't feel like your person is very spiritual. Again, they were living more from like a lower base consciousness, again, more of staying connected to things because of what it looked like, because it gained financial stability, but really because it made them look a certain way. Secrets and deceptions. It's, again, I feel like you're still going to have like to work through a little bit of that because your person, this was embarrassing. So I don't believe that they're going to say everything, tell you everything. They're going to tell you over time because that's the type of person that they are. I believe that they're not very emotionally intelligent. So they would rather not talk about anything really having to do with this. They would rather just focus on the relationship moving forward, not even look at what happened in the past because they don't know what to do. Their entire life is pretty much going to be upheavaled if they leave this situation, which they're thinking about it. However, they know you don't trust them. So what are you going to do? What do you feel? I want to know what you feel. I wish you knew how grateful I am to have met you. Now, I feel like that's more your person because you've changed them again and they see that they can love. I don't believe that your person, I think that they've been living so detached for so long in order to stay in that situation that they thought that, well, I could just like live the way that I was living, which is superficially and, have superficial surface relationships that might be just all about passion and nothing else. But I think that they realize that, yeah, I could have a good life that way because I had a good life that way. But I can have an even better life connected to someone that matches my energy, that hustles, that works, that is business oriented, because your person is business oriented. They are, and they create their business. They're connected to those people and situations due to money, but due to the fact that they know how to make money. And those people have tried to keep your person like stuck, and they were able to do that. So I think that they're realizing like, wow, you showed me how to live life. I am really happy that you came into my life. And I think in a way you love this person. You love this person because, again, I didn't see angry, bitter cards. You're sad that it didn't work out and that you are happy that they came into your life. Because they actually showed you something that you didn't see about yourself. Emotionally unavailable. So again, the emotionally unavailable shit is like, and that's because they would need to work on that. And that's what I felt before. It's, again, only having relationships that are surface. So you have to be honest with yourself whether you would be able to deal with that. just going to pull 3 cards out of the Waiting Rider deck and then 1 Twin Flame Soulmate reading to close it out to see, because what I see is right now is your person wants to get out of their situation. They're trying to figure out how to get out of their situation. They don't know how to get out of their situation, but you're the catalyst of that. They do have really strong feelings, and you were really sad. So 3 cards, just only 3 cards. Okay, the Lovers. Nine of Swords. And Ace of Pentacles. Oh, so right as far as now, I am feeling it was almost like you're going to have a choice, because the Lovers came out upside down. So you're going to have a choice between someone else coming into your life. I also feel as if your person is terrified, again, because I pulled this, the Nine of Swords, which this is like a worry card. And it's worry because are you going to be with someone else? And then the reason why is because Ace of Cups was reversed, because your person hasn't given anything. And I think that that's where you are. You're like, I want someone else to come into my life because they really haven't given me anything. And I feel that they can feel that, to be honest with you, because soulmate twin flames feel each other's energy, and I feel as if you cut them off. So I feel like you're angry. Now, is that really what you want to do? I feel like you're so angry because that they are not there for you, because it's again that they perceive themselves to be stronger, but they can feel you. I'm like looking at that card, that card where it said, I feel you. So they feel you because, and they can feel like you're over it, that there's been nothing, you haven't given me anything. You haven't given me anything. Now, I said I was only like gonna pull 3, but like what for? Because it's like I hate leaving it like that. It's almost like, oh, like you're like almost like, fuck you, you haven't given me anything. I'm angry. You haven't been here. Like, and I know that you think that there's other choices because I've cut my energy off from you, but you can, and that's why your person can feel when you're around and when you're not, because again, that energy doesn't really go when you're, either. It's like it transcends time and space, but your person is so worried also that they can't feel you, because when a person's mind is going, they're not tapping into their feelings. They're become overstimulated with worry. And so when we're overstimulated with worry, you're not feeling anything except for your worries and anxiety. But this is, if you wanted your person to come back, this is the energy that they would actually have to be in, because they're terrified to deal with what they have to deal with. So the emotional pain and the discomfort of being separate from you is, again, goes back to the catalyst of like making changes, significant changes within your person's life, whether you stay with them or not. That situation is outgrown because they're just living from their trauma response, and they're realizing that there's so much more to life. I mean, this right here, I'm not getting, like, this is upside down too. So they're not getting any emotional growth. They're not, because they're separate. And I feel like because they made a choice, and that was to be connected to like these people. And one could be an ex, one could be a baby mama, one could be, but not really because of any other thing, but because financially. Okay, so these two came out. We're just going to see what the energies are, like what the hell the karmic themes are, because it's like, this is just, your person realizes they have feelings, but it's like they're in a mess, and you're like, I'm over it, because you haven't even figured out like how you're going to, and you haven't given anything. So karmic ties, I'm struggling with codependency. What I tell you, I'm afraid to let go of my old coping mechanisms. And that's what it said, that your person has kind of tried to keep you stuck because they are codependent, but they're not codependent because they're in love. They're codependent because, again, they're dependent on all these people. And I know the universe works in mysterious ways, but sometimes I judge the situation instead of surrender to it. So they know, again, that this is a soulmate relationship, soulmate twin flame. It's a significant relationship. They know that it is, and they are so torn up because on one level they have such deep feelings, and they also know that they're running out of time, and they're struggling because they're like, if in order for me to come to you, I have to let go of all these people, and I believe whoever they're connected to, it does not want them to do that. And that could be, again, an ex baby mama, along with a bunch of other people. It's not just one, but I feel like there's one person that's able to like puppet master the rest of them and to try to keep your person stuck, not because they want them, just because. And so, like, again, they don't want their financial situation to get messed up. They want your person to keep being a workhorse. Your person, again, doesn't made these choices a long time ago and just has outgrown them, is not fulfilled. But when we change, again, a lot of times people are not going to like that. And that's what we see here. So they're struggling with themselves. And I'm going to leave it here. It's like, because they know what they should do, they know what they have to do, they know. But in that, once they actually make the decision, they also know that none of these people, none of that life is going to exist. And that's very scary. So I'm going to leave it there. If you resonated with this video, please let me know. I will talk to you all soon. Bye-bye. Ciao.